I think Rupp is one of the great arenas in the country, and primarily because of the passion that the crowd brings to it. I'm one of those that thinks, you hear people say, well, the crowd's worth X amount of points in a game. I'm not a big believer in that. I think that the crowd's makes the atmosphere and adds on to what the team does. But when the team's not real good, the crowd doesn't really have an effect. And usually it's what the team does, and the crowd adds to it. And here, the teams are always really good, and then the crowd adds to great teams and great performances. And that's why they've hung all these banners here, is because of what the team's done.
Speaking of what the team's done, what they have to do now to get in the tournament, obviously Reese just said he thinks they're in, but without Nerlens, how difficult is it for this team to continue to win games that after Harrow out early in the season, Coley Stein out as well, to keep rolling with those punches?
It's a hard it's hard, but the game starts at 9 o'clock. So, you have to play no matter what. And it doesn't say in the record books, so-and-so didn't feel well and so-and-so was injured. You have to play. And players talk about getting opportunities. They want, I should be playing more. I should be, well, now you're playing. And now you have to, but I think it's got to be a collective thing where, and it's not just for Kentucky, it's for all teams that are facing adversity. Nobody goes through a season without having an issue. So I think you have to change. There are going to have to be players that adapt, and every player is going to have to adapt to new roles. But the objective is the same. You may have a responsibility that's yours, but the mission is to stop the other team from scoring and score when you've got the ball. And I think the teams that are able to adapt by making it a we thing instead of a me thing are the ones that do the best.
Cal's obviously had a couple of great teams the past few years and finds things to get guys to bond. This one obviously is a little bit more difficult, but what do you put into the things like the dodgeball and trying to get these guys to come together and loosen up a little bit?
Well, tell me in all the years of sort of media, the stories that have been written about, boy, the adjustment that so-and-so made with dodgeball was the one that really turned the season around. That was fun, and it was a light-hearted thing, but the things that they do on the floor during practice, in film sessions, all those things are the things that are going to make a difference. So, their frame of mind is a big part of it, and that'll help with their frame of mind and remind them that this is supposed to be fun, and this is not, you're not trying not to lose, you're trying to win. But I don't see in any of the stories about Wooden's 10 national championships in 12 years. When he played dodgeball that time, it's a fun, neat little thing, but it's not, and it grabs headlines because it was fun and it was different. But the difference that makes is not going to be very much.
Of course, Wooden didn't have a website to put the video out there.
True, yeah. But if he did, they would have put it up too. Yeah, and it would have been genius.
How critical is to Kentucky trying to get in the tournament? How critical is tonight, do you think?
I mean, all games are critical. That's what and I don't mean to be dismissive of the question, but that's kind of, we've turned this whole season, we've turned the regular season into, what do I have to do to get in the tournament? Well, the only objective standard in this is winning. So the answer is you got to win. Well, then the next question is, well, what do we have to do to win? Well, then you have to do the simple things. For Kentucky, they have to do the tough things to win. They have to take charges. They have to talk on defense, all 5 guys talking. All 5 guys have to go to the defensive glass because they can have a great defensive possession. They don't get a rebound, doesn't matter. Stuff like that. And it's not going to be, do we run dribble, drive, motion, or do we run our open set, or do we run this set or that set? That's not going to be the issue. It's going to be those things. Like the loss against Tennessee, you can go through the tape, and I did, of all the times, guys who had chances to take charges and didn't. The times where they doubled the post, where they weren't shoulder to shoulder and tight and let Jarnell Stokes split it. The times where they didn't lay a body on somebody and gave up an offensive rebound. Those are the things that make you win and lose. And so you can't, if you start looking at it like the great teams don't say, okay, well, here's the game we have to win, and there's a game we have to win. They're the ones that treat every game the same and put championship effort into every practice and every game and approach everything the same. And then all of a sudden they turn out to be playing for championships.